Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're having another look at Space Engineers, and we're going to look at our large ship build and the further stages. Now, the last time I tried to record Space Engineers, I had some frame rate issues, and hopefully I don't have the same problem in this time recording, but we'll go ahead and check it out. So, first thing that we have is I've worked on this large ship quite a bit, and I finished off the nacelle here. So I've pretty much just closed it off, and I've given it top and bottom thrust. The side and forward and rear thrust already existed, but it was inside, and you can't actually see the forward and rearward thrust very much anymore, except for the very back. You can see there are a couple thrusters that poke out. There you have them. And as you can see, I have only done this side of the ship with what I have added on. So you can see what the nacelle looked like before I finished it off over here. Okay, so other things I've done is I started working on the sides of the ship here. So you can see before this was just glass. Now I've added on these gratings as well to add a little bit of security into the passenger compartments. As you can see, I'm bringing the wall down. I've been thinking with this space in here, that's going to be some dead space in there, and what I could use for that space. I have some ideas. We'll see how it goes. But as you can see, I've only started work on one side, so you can kind of see the progress as it goes. So I finished off this side here, so you have it closed off now, so you can't really see the door mechanism anymore. And that continues on to the front, where you have some rocket launchers here, and I have those rocket launchers connected up to our conveyor system, like so that those can be resupplied very easily. I may actually add some kind of trapdoor feature here, maybe delete out these blocks and add a door that closes across the rocket launchers, so it's like almost like a weapons bay that you have to open. That's an idea I was kind of thinking about. I don't know how well you can remember, but I also changed the bridge area quite a bit, and it has been moved further forward. It was previously back here, where this wall is here. That's where it was flush with that. I've actually brought it forward quite a bit, and I've changed its layout a bit. So let's go on the inside. I haven't done a whole lot on the inside, but we'll just get a quick look. First off, I have gravity throughout the ship now. That was something that previously I didn't have. Now we'll go ahead and we'll go straight to the bridge, because that's the part that is the most finished. So let's go ahead and go up. And okay, so we already had these rooms, and as a matter of fact I left this door open, so this is our medical room. This room in here, I had plans of making it some kind of like conference room or meeting room, but I had to stick a gravity generator in. I found that the exact point where the two gravity fields merge was right here, so this was like the ideal place along these line of blocks, so I just stuck it in this room because this room's not being used for anything at the moment. I don't really prefer that it's there, but that's how it's going to be for now. Alright, so this is a new area. So you come in here. That ramp up there goes to the bridge. This here is just a small room. I have no ideas of what it's going to be used for yet. Another thing you may notice as we go through that I lighted a lot of the areas. Again, the interiors are still in construction, but I figured I'd add lighting in just so it's not so dark and gloomy. So now we have our bridge. Now it is more or less complete. There's probably more things that need to be added. Now, if you're looking at this and you're wondering, what I got inspiration from, or maybe you can see right away what I got inspiration from, I actually got inspiration from Next Generation, Star Trek Next Generation. If you're a little unaware of that show, so essentially this is your Ship systems area. This was the area that Worf would normally stand in the later seasons. Tasha Yar in the first season would stand up here and control various ship systems. Up here we have our navigation systems. Now in the show you only had two cockpit things, but I felt like the space, there's quite a bit of space here, so I added a third one in the middle. So as far as this ship and the way it's going to work, so far with the way things work, these buttons up here are going to be more just ship systems. The actual weapons you have to be sitting in a cockpit to use. So for instance, we could have a navigator or a pilot, a navigator, and a ship's weapons officer. So a weapons officer, pilot, navigator, and then you have your, captain seat here, and then, maybe your first officer, and your other guest stars, or, whatever. You know how they would always have in the show, they would have a guest star, and he would take one of the vacant, chairs that just, happen to be here, and he'd just kind of sit there, and, yeah, so you've got your captain and guest stars. So other than that, the rest of the ship, all I did was add lighting. So as you can see, there's lighting throughout the ship. Another thing that I did, I don't know if this was in the previous ship build, I'm assuming it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I guess I could run too. Alright, so this is a new room too. This is another gyroscope room. So there was one in the lower floors near the engineering. I have another one, and it's actually larger and more extensive. And this is purely because I did a couple test runs of the ship. I know the ship is nowhere near complete, and it was not being very responsive. So I added another gyroscope room because I know the weight of this ship is going to only increase. It's not going to decrease at this point. So I definitely felt like there was a need to add more gyroscopes into the ship. So this is pretty much it. This is all we've got for the ship so far. And I'm going to keep updating the ship and updating you guys on the ship as I progress through it. And I have, ideas of how it's going to be completed. But to be honest with you, I don't have a total, complete idea of what the overall shape and layout is going to be. It's one of those things where as much as I set up the layout and am working on it, it is one of those things that's just going to happen as I build it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.